Hello. Right, this workout's all for the butt. If you've got a band, grab a band. In my opinion, have a heavy band. If you've only got a light band, use that, and you can also use just your body weight. The goal is really here to feel the workout in the back of the butt and the side of the butt. So we're going to count the first round is just body weight, so you're not going to need the band, but have it close by for the second and third rounds. Right, starting on our backs. So roll your way down. You're going to bring your hip bones towards your ribs, squeeze your butt to lift your hips off the floor, and then just lower the hips down. So looking to keep the hip bones close to the rib cage in order to make sure you get the isolation in the butt and not just stretch out the abs. Your heels should be roughly underneath your knees. And you're looking to get that peeling of the spine off the floor. Squeeze the butt and then lower. Right, if you need a little shake off, then you can, but then we're looking to just lift the hips up and hold. And here you're trying to be as active as possible. So you're actively trying to drive your heels into the floor and then clench your bum as hard as possible. Again, not too worried about how high you are. If you tend to lift really high, you'll find that's going to stretch out your abs and put some pressure into the back. Whereas keeping the hips close to the ribs means it isolates the butt. If your hips are really close to the floor but you're feeling in the bum, that is okay. So you can come down, have a little release if you want, or just keep it up. And then we're going to stay in the top few inches and just lift the hips just up a little bit and down a little bit. So up and down, really squeeze the butt. And by now you should be starting to feel some real heat and tension in the butt. And if you've not got that, if you're feeling it more in your hips, in your thighs or in your quads, then maybe just take a little break, have a little shake off, and then come in again, really focus on your clenching and maybe don't lift quite as high. Again, if you want to have a quick breather and come down, then do. If not, we're going to stay up at the top, and then the knees are just going to press out from hip width to a little bit wider. So they're hip width and come a little bit wider. So we're working the bottom of the bum to keep the hips lifted off the floor, and now working into the side of the bum to open the knees to the side. And if you notice your hips are coming down and up as you do it, maybe again lower the hips lower so you can keep them level throughout. And hopefully you already feel this in the butt. Right, so we've got 45 seconds break, and this time is really just to set yourself up with the band. So you're going to put the band just above the knees. Just above, so it's not really too high up. Not below the knees, not on the knees, just above. We're going to do those exact same exercises, but with the band here. And the idea is your feet and knees are going to stay hip width apart. It's just you're actively pressing out against the band. So you're going to get even more activation in the side of your butt. So when you're ready, lie yourself down on your back. Exact same exercise. So the heels should be under the knees roughly. You're just going to get that hip bone close to the ribs. Squeeze your butt. And we're off. Just lift the hips up and down. Now, the only difference is this time you're looking to press your knees out on the band. The band is going to be trying to pull your knees inwards, and you've got to actively drive them out. So right from the start, you should just feel a bit more butt action. Same thing, trying to curl your body up, roll up, and roll your weight down, and not focusing too much about the height, but more about the squeeze. Get up to you if you want to have the break, or just hold up and stay. Now, as you're holding, driving in through the heels of the foot, pushing down in towards the toes and the balls of the foot, clenching your bum really hard, and now just try and press your knees out wider. And you can really go wide against the band. So press it wider, and again, feel that squeeze in the side of your butt. Just breathe in, holding, and resisting the urge for the knees to come back in. Take a little break if you want it, or hold the hips up. We're just going to keep pressing out the band, just pulse the hips up and down. So just lifting a bit and lowering, lifting and lowering. So our bums is like one of the key muscles that's here to really support the spine, the hips and the pelvis. And it's also one of the laziest muscles that just tends to switch off. And that's where we can get knee pain, hamstring pain, which is the back of the leg, hip pain, and back pain. So it's really important to get a really nice strong butt. And thankfully now it's 2022. It's fashionable to have a big strong butt as well. You can have a break or hold it up. So your knees are already wide on the band, and we want to open them wider from here. So from there, go wider and then come back in a bit. Wider and come back in. You're going to be tempted to come in all the way so that it comes a bit slack, but keep the pressure on the band the whole time. So there's pressure and then a lot of pressure. Pressure and then a lot of pressure. Remaining hips as level as possible. Yeah, nice. Have a little release, have a little shake off. If you want to have a little stretch, you can. If you want to have a little sip of water, you can. We're going to do it all over again. So no changes, still keeping the same exercises. The only change, if you're going to do anything, is trying to drive the knees out even more. So the more, again, like the wider the knees, and think about how wide you can get them, it's capable to press on the band. If you have the option of going up to a heavier band and you want to take it, then do. And if you felt that actually it was a bit too much, feel free to get rid of the band or go to a lighter band. Oh, this is going to burn so much. So you're going to lower yourself back down again. Drive through the heels, tilt the tailbone, lift it up and down. Squeezing the butt. And then again, being really mindful, it tends to be that as you get fatigued, you might find your actual range is bigger, but you're separating and spreading out your abs. This is the thing I tend to see a lot. Hips coming all the way up. Whereas instead, you want to keep it, as I say, just a little bit lower and using your bum to tilt your pelvis. So getting that little pelvic tilt, meaning you're just bringing the hip bones close to the ribs. Little break on and then hold it up. This time, so you press the knees out even more. So really press the knees out more. And if you want a little extra, just toe heel your heels a bit wider than hips. And again, press out more from there and you're going to feel even more. Being really, really active with your feet on the floor. And then naturally just become aware, have your knees come closer together. Can you push them out wider again? The answer is normally yes. Nice. Again, take a little break if you want it. Or we're just going to stay here, keeping the knees out wide and just lifting the hips up and down and up and down. So at the moment, working both hips at the same time as well. So this is where you're not really going to know if there's too much difference between either or, but eventually we're going to be moving on to one side at a time and you'll get to see if you've got one side that's stronger than the other. And you'll tend to find if you have got one side stronger, the weaker side is normally where you get more injuries. Take a break if you want it, or hold it up. So your knees are already really wide. They're wider than they were. And you're just going to try and go wider from there again. And in, wider and in. And when in, I don't mean in all the way to touching, but just really wide and then in just a little bit. Really wide, in just a little bit. Hips remaining as stable and level as possible. Oh my God, it burns, burns, burns. My ass is on fire. Oh, nice. Well done. Oh my God. This is bad. I put this workout together only 2 days ago. I forgot there's 3 rounds. There's 3 rounds. There's another one. How's your bum feeling? Again, be mindful if you feel it in your thighs. That's front or back. So your quads are the front or the hamstrings. The second you feel it more in somewhere that isn't your bum, so if you feel it there, or in your back, come down, take a break, hug your knees in before you go in again, rather than keeping going and keeping working the wrong muscles. So let's do the final time round. Take feet a little bit wider again if you can. Push the knees out a little bit more on the band if you can. And let's do this. Tilt the tailbone, lift hips up and lower hips down. This is one of those ones that's so good for me as well. I'm pleased to be doing it. It's my bum, even though it's my job to be active, my bum still switches off all the time. And given that most people's jobs are normally sitting all day, they do tend to get a little bit lazy. So it's really good just to do the butt workout. Take the little break or just hold it at the top. Can you clench your bum harder? Actively clench your bum, like you're trying to crush something between your butt cheeks. Or like you're trying to hold a pound coin between your butt cheeks, which again, we don't really have money anymore, do we? What else is important? Try to hold your phone between your butt cheeks. Clench it and hold it, try not to let it drop. Still pressing out the band. If you can, stay at the top. If you need a little break, take it. And then go for the top half pulses. Small movement, just lift up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, and down a little bit. Oh, my bum is gonna feel this tomorrow. Teeny tiny. Be mindful that you're not thrusting and humping. Keep it slow, keep it squeezy. Hold it up if you can, keep the hips level. And then from here, try not to let the knees come in, but instead go wide with the knees. Go even wider and then in just a little bit. Even wider and then a little bit. Again, try not to just pulse and like vibrate the legs. But instead, take your time, make it so it's like you're wringing out a sponge. It's just like real squeezy movement. Really feel the contraction of the muscles instead of just using momentum to help you out. Squeeze and come in a little bit. Squeeze and come in a little bit. Oh, nice. Right. So now we're coming onto the side. So this is going to really isolate one side over the other. So we're going to lie on the right side of the body. You can basically, how you lie down can be like kind of rested on the forearm, or you can lie supporting your head in your hand. You can lie all the way down. It really doesn't matter about that. But the bottom knee, keep it bent. Top leg is straight and the foot is flexed. Try and rest the whole of the foot on the side of the floor. You're going to keep the hips stacked the whole time and then just lifting the leg up and down without pointing the toes up. You'll find the toes are going to want to point up to the ceiling, but try and keep the foot flat throughout. So good luck. Let's go. So we're just going to lift the leg up and then lower the leg down. Take your time. Again, so make it as squeezy as possible. So not just lifting up and flying around, but like nice and slow and squeezy controlled motion. Being mindful if the thing that tends to happen is hips open up towards the ceiling like this, or the toes point upwards. So keep the toes almost pointed slightly towards the floor. If anything, the leg goes slightly back. So we're repeating that pattern. We're just going to hold the leg up. Just holding. Actively squeezing the side of your bum. Now, if you start feeling it anywhere that's not on the side of the bum, so the side of the leg is also good. If you're feeling anywhere else, then take a quick break and then come back in again. But you can actually try poking the bum muscles and then really think about clenching those muscles. And you should find by doing that, they start to activate a bit more. If your bum isn't activating yet, don't worry about it. Keep practicing these exercises and it will start to come. Again, you can take a little break here or just keep the knee up. You're going to keep the knee high and then you're just going to pull the knee in towards the chest and then press the leg away. Pull the knee in towards the chest and then press the leg away. So keeping that kind of flexed foot throughout and the knee stays really high. We're still controlling the movement. Be mindful if your knee starts drifting towards the floor. So you're not just resisting gravity at the moment, but you're also resisting the bands. And then again, you hold it up or you can take a little break. Top half pulses. So we're just going to lift the leg a little bit higher from there, down a little bit, a little higher and down a little bit. Slow and squeezy. Try not to pulse, try not to come really nice and low. Keep the foot flexed. It really burns. How's it doing? Mine's like absolutely on fire. Everything about me is like, if I wasn't on camera, I would have taken a break by now. Shows that you're capable of more than you realise though. Little break. You might want to hug your knees in. So yeah, this is where you should be really feeling it. If you want to maybe lie on your back, drop your knees to the side. That'll give you a little stretch that might come into the bum. Just taking a little release because we're going to do the same side again. So same side again. And this one, this is my weak side. So this leg is the one that where I tend to get the foot pains, knee pain or hip pain. So this is my weaker side. But if you're thinking, oh, actually I want a little bit more, try taking the band a little bit lower. So the further the band is away, the harder it is. I'm going to keep it above the knees. So lying on your side, stack your hips, stack your shoulders, and just flex the foot and lift the band up and down. Oh, it's already going. If you're anything like me, you might have a little bit of doubt in your mind now, like, am I going to be able to do this? Do you want to take the break or not? Just holding the band up, keep the foot flexed. Squeezing the side of the bum. Notice if the leg's going to start coming lower, it's going to try, and you've got to actively lift it up. Also be mindful, try not to get up here. Again, that tends to mean that you're just coming into more of the hip flexor in the front. So keeping it just a bit higher than your hips or level with the hips is good. Just holding. Keep the knee high. You're just going to pull the knee towards the chest and then extend away. Pull the knee towards the chest and extend away. Oh my God. I feel like the bum is the only muscle I ever get this feeling where it's actually like cramp, because it is such a big muscle. You kind of can keep going to that point. Really pull in as far as you can. Push back, keep the knee high as you can. I'm just going to take a little break. Keep the leg up. Pulse it out from there. Little pulses, little lifts. Be interested to know how my other side compares. So I think you can see the timer as well. I've got about 15 seconds to go. Keep going. Tell this to me more than I'm telling it to you. You got 5 more seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. And obviously what you do on one side, you do on the other side. So you're just going to roll yourself over. If you want to take again just a little bit of a stretch, have a quick release. How are you? How are you doing? I know you're not talking back to me, but I am curious. How are you doing? Mine's cramping so bad. Same set up on the other side. And again, just be really mindful as you do this. Like, do you have one side that is better than the other? I'm really hoping that this is my stronger side and it's not going to be as bad. So I'm pleased that we're finishing on it. So you're going to lie on your left side. Stack the knees, stack the hips, flex the foot, and then just lifting up and down. Maybe this one's going to be worse because it's stronger. So maybe it's going to activate from the start. I don't know. We're going to find out. Keep the foot flat and parallel to the floor. Find your range without lifting up too high or point the toes up. That is really the biggest thing I see is toes up to the ceiling, and you'll tend to find you feel the front of the thigh and the hip. So keep turning the toes down. Taking the break or just going straight up and holding. Check the foot angle. Check that if anything, keep the heels slightly up to the ceiling. Squeeze the side of your bum. If you're not feeling the side of your bum, give it a little poke. Just tells your brain where to make it work. Check if your hips are still stacked and rolled forward or if they've started to roll back at all. Just breathe in and hold in. It's already bad. And then keeping the knee up high, just pulling the knee in towards the chest, and then extend away. Knee towards the chest and extend away, like you're trying to push a wall away from you. As always, keeping the movement really smooth and controlled. See how far you can pull the knee in and press it away. And just watch and watch if your knees come closer together, and try and separate them as best you can. By the way, mine's already killing. It's already killing. It's only 2 rounds though. So keep the leg high again. If you want to take a little break, and then we're coming up and then up again from there. Little pulses up and down. Try not to race the pulses, but keep them slow and squeezy. Fail, right bum, fail. Apparently, I need this workout more than I realized. Lift in and lift in. 5 seconds till a break. And 3, 2, 1. Take a little break. So again, with this one, if you're looking at me being like, what's the big deal? Grab a heavier band or slide the band further down. You'll probably need to have your legs stacked like this, by the way, so that it can, it's there to resist rather than having the bent leg. But yeah, feel free to take that option. If you're finding you're taking so many breaks, then just get rid of the band. Remember, your leg weighs quite a lot, so you're already resisting with something there. We've only got to do 2 rounds, just 2 rounds. So second round, set yourself up. Flex the foot. And just lift it up and lower it down. Now, if you're ever not sure about your breathing when you breathe, so you really want to not hold your breath at any point. I never want to, so you don't want to just hold your breath, nor do you want to and hold your breath. So you always try and breathe out when you're going against gravity. So as my leg lifts up, I breathe out and breathe in as you lower down. Breathe out and breathe in, lower down. Break. So holding up. And this time, since the entire time is hard, just find a rhythm in your breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. Your out breath is the strongest phase. So take in as much as you can. That's going to help try and eliminate some of the burning that you're feeling. As you exhale, flex the leg even more, pull the toes back more, maybe lift the leg a little bit higher. Nice. Knees if you need it, or just keep the leg up if you can. Leg high, pull the knee to chest and extend away. Knee click. I'm definitely going to do this workout again because I can feel that I need it. How are you doing? 3 seconds and just 30 more seconds. The whole workout is done. So if you take a little break if you want it. 30 seconds lifting the leg. Going from there a little bit higher. Or you're 10 seconds down. Third of the way. Doing this for me more than you. Oh no, my bums failed me. Oh. Back in. This is the first video I've ever done, by the way. So hopefully we see that my bum gets better too. 6 seconds is all over. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, get rid of the band. Ugh. Get rid. With rage if you want. That's so good, well done. So we're just going to stretch the bum. Now, obviously, we spent the entire time here, so we spent a decent 20 minutes on the bum. So we're spending it 2 stretches, 2 butt stretches. I'm going to hold a nice, decent chunk of time. So for now, I'd say just move around a little bit, just get a little bit of freedom again in the hips. Just trying to get clearing some of the lactic acid that's just built up in the booty. And then just going to lie your back, cross one ankle over the opposite thigh, open the knee. That might be plenty enough for a stretch. Or if you want more, you grab the thigh and pull the leg towards you. And then you're in control of how close or how far away you pull the leg. You're looking to have your head relaxed on the floor. If you want more, push the knee away and pull the leg closer. And if you want less, just release it a little bit. If you struggle to grab the thigh, just grab the ankle like this. Yeah, so now just simply switch your legs. So cross the other leg over. And again, if it's too much, you can't reach the thigh without lifting up, just keep the foot down, grab the ankle, and then hold from here. So you're still getting the same stretch in the bum, just you're kind of able to reach a bit more. And the other option is you can always use either your band or a towel to loop it through the legs and give you the hold. You're pulling the leg towards you, and as you do, push your butt down towards the floor. Nice release, come on up. So come on up to a 90-90 stretch. So what I mean from there, if you stack your legs on one side, take one leg back, other leg forward, you're looking for a 90-degree angle at the knee, lean forwards, and then you'll find the spot. So just shift a little bit side to side, and the bit that you're like, whoa, that's the stretch, that's the bit that you hold on. And then you're in control. You want to find it where it's a bit uncomfortable but not pain. So if you want to, you can come further. If not, just stay a little bit higher. So that's over. And then we're just switching over to the other side. So 90-90 degrees at the knees, hands over the front, lean forward. Maybe you want to lean over your heel, maybe over the knee, maybe over the leg. Find the spot and then hold on it. How are we doing? Did you find that balance, mate? Did you find it easy? You found it easy? As again, if you've only got limited bands, try duplicating and do more bands. Nothing wrong getting a really, really strong bun. That's done. So really well done. I'd love to know how you get on. I'd love to know if there's anything extra workouts that you would like me to kind of show and for you to have more. They've got loads more butt stuff we can do. But yes, well done.